Good morning, everyone. So today in our Tech Talk, we are going to look into what is a design system and in the digital product, right? Contents are going to be what is a design system and why use a design system and how to use it. So we are going to cover these three module rather. So what is a design system? Basically, a design system is a collection of reusable design elements, components, and patterns, basically guided by principles, standards, and documentation that product team used to create consistent user experience across a range of digital product and experiences. Maybe it can be marketing or product. Basically, wanted to keep the consistency across the product. It can be anything. So design system is also a truth for an entire product organization to guide the design and development of the digital product. So what NN Group says is NN Group is a leading UX research company. So what they say is a design system is a set of standards to manage a design at scale by reducing redundancy while creating a shared language and visual consistency across different pages and channels. So basically, this is a structure kind of like you can see typography, color, spacing, buttons, forms, tags, basically a principle to follow across the product. And these are the main elements of the design system. So when you're going to do a design system, basically stakeholders we need to know what are the stakeholders and what are the tools that we are going to use and what are the patterns and the guidelines and the branding. So it's a combination of everything. I would say like it's a series of elements that can be combined, what you see here, and reused on a product by a whole team. So it includes everything. So basically, and the next one, we see the core component of the design system: colors, iconography, elevation, like what are things we can copy, and typography, animation, layout, and illustration. We'll see the example in the following slides. And basically a structure or how to structure it. So style guide is it's a hero of the design system, and under that we create blocks like color palette, typography, grid definition, icons, and the pattern library also saying the rules that we are following. So every project that we are before we going to start the product, basically we need to define this in prior. So this is one of the example that I can share that we have client that we have basically introduced all design system which they didn't have earlier. So from the branding and the color guide, the typography, everything defined by ourselves. And later the client followed that and they did their branding, revamped their marketing website and everything based on this. That is the beauty of having a design system. So like people will understand, okay, this is the product. They will identify the brand identification easily. So we know Google and Apple, we know that very well, right? Those brands because of principles and the guides they follow. By looking at the product or any application, we can say this is their product. So that is the goal of the design system. Okay, so this is a bit of out of a digital product. Just I thought of sharing this one because really amazing because it's found. So this is NASA had a design system in 1976. It's amazing because the guideline on the color pairing and the improved visibility and readability are really good because they shouldn't give false alarm in any point. The message should be on point because you can't make any mistakes by looking at a board or any warning, right? So it should be very specific and very simple as well. So this is one of the really good example, and it will communicate quickly whether it is a warning. When it wanted to stop, it says stop, and the message is clear. And they have used minimal colors, monotonous colors, because they wanted to have a clear idea between warning and the message. Here I'll give some examples, right? So the Apple design system. So this is one of the examples. This is a popular example, right? And Google material design and Adobe AE, basically they say AEM components. So they are guidelines, and some of other IBM design, Amazon, Bootstrap, and SAP. So they have their own kind of design system. Okay, so the Atlassian also I took for an example because in our day-to-day activities we use this. So we might have seen all the components, how they have arranged and everything, right? So they have their patterns, brand, and everything on their site itself. So moving to the next content, that why use a design system. So why we are using this, right? Basically, the primary benefit of a design system is ability to replicate design quickly by utilizing pre-made UI component and elements. So the team can continue to use the same elements over and over, reducing the need of reinvent the thing, and like they don't want to risk the unintended inconsistency, right? So there should be the guide. And since the simple UI elements are created already, a reusable design system can focus on less tweaking visual appearance and all. And also like you can create a unified language within the system and between the cross-functional team as well. And basically the visual consistency is one of the main reason as well, and can serve educational, like can be an educational tool or system to let the junior designer or else any stakeholders who is not familiar with the design guideline and stuff, so we can educate them easily. So by looking at the page, okay, they know what should follow and all. So why not use a design system? Which means maintaining a design system is a time intensive activity which requires a dedicated team, right? So it takes time to teach others how to use the design system. So end of the day, like everything, like if you are doing a proper design system, it will save a lot of money in future, because the timeline that we are working in a project is very crucial, and we can and as well time we can save, money we can save it by doing the faster and efficient workflow. So those are the reasons. So okay, so let's move to our next category. So how to use this? So I have the example to do it here. So I will take an example that we are currently doing. So for example, there's this is our design system, right? This is our design system. It can be used in any tools. So Figma, XD, Sketch, any prototyping application that available in market. So basically, so this is our one of component I took for an example to show you. This is the main design guideline we have. So we have plenty of components here, and I took this example, like different components there, but I took this as an example. So basically this component it shows the component something like this. So it will be in a different status, and the button will change according to the status. So there are a lot of combinations, right? So I can show you the different combination as well as the states of that. So you can see, so this is the default state. So this component is already made basically. So you can see the different state of that. See draft, you see the draft, the status changed to draft, and pending review. And also if you see between draft and pending review, the button changes, right? So if you see open, different state, filled a different state, post a different state, cancel a different state. So there are a lot of combination, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So in case if client wanted to change or something here, so just say this is the platform, right? So there are similar components there, but in a different state, right? So this file basically a final design, right? That we are going to share with the developers. And you can see it should let developers to know, okay, these are the possible statuses that you will see in the dashboard or something, right? So, but we can achieve that within this one single component. That's the beauty of the design system. Now I showed you all the states. So basically now I wanted this to make changes here. In the sense, while I'm changing here, it should appear like it should affect here, right? Because that is the main idea of design system. So, but these two files are in a different file. Basically, it's not interconnected yet, but we can interconnect the component by using the library. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change a radius of it to 10, I'll just say, and now I think 4 it's fine. I'm happy with 4. So client says, okay, I need radius of the status is 4. So when I change that, I will change to significant change. I will do it 20. So you'll see rounded corner, right? So now I have changed that in a default state, and you can see it will follow the same thing in other statuses as well. Like I don't want to do it one by one. Now I wanted this to be published as well. So what I'm going to do is, so I'm selecting this, and I'm going to, so this is the library I've shared already with team. So now I'm going to update the library. So now I'm clicking that. So this is my library name, design system. Now I'm updating that. So I've updated that. Now what happens is, so in the other end, it can be anything, like anything in the sense like the user flow can be a multiple file. But here also what we have is a document asset, like you can, like this is the library we have shared from here. So you can see that. And to update in the to see the impact on the design, what we need to do is here also we need to update that. I will show you again. See here, by looking and updating that, everything's changed, right? So similar to that, like it's very convenient. And so I will tell another example that this might often come. So in the default state, I wanted to change so the client says I wanted, no, I want some range here. So I've updated that and updating it. And now what happens is that will do the job perfectly, right? So that is the idea. So coming back to our content, so that is our use component basically. So the conclusion, so design systems are made of many components, patterns, styles, and guidelines, which can help operationally and operationalize or optimize your design of efforts, right? So however they are designed, managed, and implemented by people, the main factor to consider when creating a design system, that is systems are a scale and replicability of your project. So you can replicate it, right? Basically. So the resources, that the time available, right? So and also, like if you see the third point, that when poorly implemented and maintained, the design system can be it's a problem basically. The collection of the components and code, like when implemented well, they can educate the team member, like streamline work and enable designers to tackle the complex UX problem. So that is the conclusion. Like these are the problem we can avoid by doing the design system. Okay, so these are the reference I will share with you if you want. And feel free to reach me out if you have any questions. Right. Thank you very much. I hope you got some idea about the design system.